Did I have to relog in? Where's activity feed? I can't see anything that's going on. OBS had an update, so a lot of different things kind of just got screwed around. Also, I never disabled all of the Lethal Company overlays, so I had to go take care of that. So, you know, on top of buses being late and having to make a pit stop at the police station, you know, and, you know, being, the weather being just absolutely, completely awfully humid, and me getting home and just being an absolute puddle at the end of the day and having to wash up, taking extra long, you know, on top of all of that, you know, also, you know, OBS had an update and I forgot the overlays, and, yeah, you know, the usual. And now OBS is kind of a little broken. It'll probably be okay, right? Hi guys, I just saw a sub from Bean. I will catch up with chat in just a second, but because I can't see my activity feed, I'm just gonna make sure I say thank you now. Thank you, Bean, for the sub. If anybody knows the song I'm listening to just by the bits that I'm humming, applause to you. But I will explain why I'm got that in my head now. As soon as I figure this out. Yeah, I think it's just broken. I probably need to, like, re-sign in, and that's gonna probably kill chat. I'm gonna try logging out and logging back in. If everything crashes, I apologize. I'll start right back up. Oh, wait a second. Let me just go through chat before I do that, just so you guys can be acknowledged. Budan is first, so congratulations. Hi, Bucky. Becky, do you know where this is from? Who did I murder? Oh no, is it the police station guess? The song is kind of related to murder, just a little bit. Anyway, hi Mako! So, an explanation. Let me turn down my music because I'm jamming and it's like really loud. I'm the same. Okay. So Vel and I were waiting for the bus, and I was gonna go look at, like, the road to see if the bus was coming down the road, and I noticed on the floor that there was a wallet, and I was like, oh shoot, somebody lost their wallet. And Vel was like, there's a police precinct actually not too far away, so we could go drop it off, and so we did. And, I searched the wallet for, like, a phone number or something, and there just wasn't anything in there, so, you know, because at least their license was in there, I hope the police can help return it. So there's that. But I'm gonna try and do the log in, log out, so just pardon me, I apologize if things break. Connect. Alright. Okay. It's not broken anymore. Yippee! And I can see everything. Oh wait, this is nice. Okay. Okay. He was crazy and he kept screaming. And then he ran into my knife. He ran into my knife 10 times. Anyway. My family went to go see a show yesterday. And this morning before I left, because I've been out all day, and I'll explain. I will recount the events of today so you guys can hear all about it, because this is, after all, a yap stream. I really hope... Yeah, okay, Blue Sky posted my thing. Yippee! Can you guys hear me? Is everything okay? It's not actually looking like it's not broken, but actually is broken, you know, psyching me out. But yeah, my family went to go watch this musical. Yes, okay. Called Chicago. And just a warning for anybody who is at all interested in talk about Chicago, it involves very heavy sexual themes, there is profanity, and probably unsurprisingly, as I mentioned earlier, there is murder. So there's that. But just this one song called Block Tango, the melody and there's like little spoken bits of like little stories, and it's just really clever, like play on words, and then actually not exactly play on words, but just like the storytelling, the way it's paced. It's short, but it has so much impact. Like, I can actually, like, read you out the first verse, and this is what got me to stay, because typically, you know, you guys know me, I don't really like sexual themes or whatever, and that's a lot of what this is, but let me just read the first verse for you, and I'm gonna have the little lyrics in the back so I can see if I can match up with it. Because the first one's just about murder, and we talk about that all the time here. Because I think we all understand, you know, murders, no. But if we're talking about it satirically and, you know, in-game, you know, it's okay. And it can be a little bit fun to joke about sometimes, because it's like, what else can you do, right? I didn't rob anyone. I didn't make a musical about it. Oh, Mako, you've heard good things about Chicago songs? Yeah, let me tell you about the first verse. Just the first verse, ready? And there's just this cascade of different, like, single words, and you're like, what the heck is all this? Right? But then as you listen to the song, you're like, oh, each of these is a piece of one of these, and it's really cool when it comes together. Hi, Tomsai. Hi, Maho. He had it coming, he only had himself to blame. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. That is like the main motif of the song. And then just the first verse. You know how people have these little habits that get you down? Like Bernie. Bernie liked to chew gum. No, not chew. Pop. Well, I came home this one day, and there's Bernie laying on the couch chewing. No, not chewing. Popping. So, I said to him, Bernie, you pop that gum one more time. And he did. So I took the shotgun off the wall, and I fired 2 warning shots into his head. And like, I heard that first like verse spoken. I'm like, okay, wait, I'll stick around and see what the rest of this is about. I thought that was really clever. Extra eyeball spots, yeah. Anyway, the song just has an amazing melody. It really got my attention, and then that first verse is just absolutely fire. And just like, again, very heavy sexual themes, profanity. I even skipped, I realized there's I don't like talking about alcohol either on this channel, because it's, again, more adult content. And maybe it's just a me thing. I personally absolutely despise alcohol. I think it tastes like the nastiest thing on earth. But I just think that there are so many healthier and B, more tasteful options. You may disagree, but that's my own personal opinion, and just in general, as a reminder, be responsible. There are plenty of drinks out there. If you really want to have something nice to drink, you don't need to put yourself in danger, or those around you in danger, via intoxication. Be careful out there. It's mid. Well, I'm glad we could agree on that. Honestly, you gave me the choice between any alcohol in the world. Expensive is whatever yachts a millionaire has, and cheapest thing on earth. I'm not choosing any of them. I'm going after the sparkling cider, guys. I'm telling you, if you haven't had sparkling apple cider, like you know the stuff that comes in like champagne looking bottles, but is not at all champagne. Like I had this as a kid. It's just like carbonated apple cider. Holy moly, this stuff is like. I love that stuff. Yes, yes. You know the brand. Yes. I love that stuff. It is, oh my gosh, when I was a kid, it was like, this is the ichor of the gods. Non-alcoholic sparkling cider is just, oh my gosh. You put a bottle of that in front of me, it is gone. It is, guys, it is gone. Italian carbonated lemon, ooh, carbonated lemonade. I've never had that before. And at first, my initial reaction was like, huh? But like, wait, no, now that I think about it, yes, I like that idea. Actually, does anybody remember the particular beverage I shook on the Snack-a-thon stream? There's a short about it. Does anybody remember? There was, not ramune, but I did have ramen at that stream, you're right. It was carbonated lychee juice. Emphasis on carbonated, and I saw there was like a bunch of like, you know when you get like orange juice or like most fruit juices, how the pulp kind of settles in the bottom or like the fruit bits kind of settle? You know, I saw fruit bits kind of settled on the bottom of the drink, so like I didn't register carbonated, right? But there were fruit bits on the bottom, so I shook it, you know, get all the fruit bits all over so I can like drink them. Anyway, that kind of feels like lemonade, right? So, huh? Hold on. Let me finish my thought. What does that? Anyway, so if lychee juice, carbonated lychee juice tastes good, I can imagine lemonade kind of would probably be somewhat similar, right? And Mako, when you got your braces off years ago, they gave you a compliment. What? Okay, now I feel cheated. Where's mine? Oh my goodness. Maho, thank you for the donation. Hold on a second. Let me do some math here real quick and put Cell Block Tango on in the bag. Yeah, they're coming. Ko-Fi. I think that brings us to the next benchmark. Hold on. Okay, wait. Wait, listen, ready, yeah, wait. 52% of 500. I'm doing the math here, right? 50% of 500 is 250, and 250 is our 3 out of 4 goal. Well, technically it's 5 goal, but you know. So okay. So we hit $50, which is for salute, think, pensive, rolling on the floor laughing, and then one that I'm leaving up to the artist. 150 goal brings us to 5 static, which are the 5 that I mentioned, and then also 2 additional animated emotes. So we'll have question and thumbs up for 150. Those are all actually, just so you guys know, in the works. They're being worked on, I swear. I didn't just, take the money and run. I commissioned them. They're just in progress. And then 250 will add nodders, nopers, and notes to the mix. So thank you, Maho. We will be adding those. I will be sure to let them know when they can start working on those. The last one we have, I still need to get an exact quote, but I have a person in mind, and I'll be contacting them as soon as we're closer to that goal. But $400 goal will bring us to the final emote. It's 22 frames, so it's a little bit more expensive than the rest of them, which is, kind of, it's a lot of work, but hey, I think it'll look nice, is the dance. So, there we go. You love melt emotes? Yippee! It's gonna be awesome. I really like the artist's art style, and I can't wait to like. I think they're already working on it kind of publicly, so if you know, you know. But yeah, maybe I can get them to tell me when they're streaming, so you guys can go take a look if you want. But yeah, I think they're working on them, like on stream. I don't know when their stream is exactly, cause yeah, I'm bad with numbers. You guys know that. I only know the ones that I know because I literally practice them every day. And if not every day, at least 3 times a week I go stream, so. Hey, let me read up what's going on here. And Mad for Blood, bean. I'm tired. Forgive me. Carbonated lemonade is lightly sweetened and perfectly bubbly, not overly sugary. That sounds lovely. And Maho won't be seeing you for a while. Oh! I wish you the best of luck. For some reason, I thought you had to go earlier. Do you have to go for reals? Like, for reals? Wherever you're going, I wish you the best of luck. I don't know if it was the same thing as before. I forgot. My bad. But you got this. You got this. And I think I can come over here now. Hi! So yeah. 1, 2, 3 goals. 3 out of 4 goals. And does anyone remember what the secret mystery 5th goal is? Shift change. Oh! They're giving you the night shift? Mostly recovered. Yippee! Good to hear you're doing better. Sorry for any concerns. They are now relieved. Thank you very much. To become gone. Maho, you gotta put in a good word for me with Hoyo then. Yeah, becoming John Genshin. Ow! Oh yeah, just a reminder, like, I turned on like all of the redeems. So you guys have access to them. We're doing a just chatting stream. If you guys see or don't see a redeem that you know exists but isn't there, you know, let me know and I'll go turn it on or set it up or something. Oh, I didn't know that was still alive. Well, this'll be here. But let me tell you about my day today. So actually, this was today and yesterday. You need to get going. Take it easy. Okay, bye, Maho. Take care. Thank you again. You got it. Ow! You got this. Others. I hope so. But y'all don't have to go crazy. I like it when we work as a community. 'Cause like, you crazy people, I appreciate you. But I also worry. The drop-in blueprint? No, I haven't. What's the drop-in blueprint? If Gilly made it, it's gotta be good. Let me take a look. What's going on here? Okay. After you get ragdolled? Oh, instead of like just reappearing? Wait! The That sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to check that out after stream, because I feel like this will be a little intense. I'm exhausted. Do you guys know how many steps do you guys think I walked today? You don't know what I did yet, I don't think. I don't think I said it yet. How many steps? More than one? Mako, you're correct. More than 20,000. More than 10,000. I did a lot of walking today. Oh, hi, Joy! So, according to Vel's account, because he has his app is actually, like, tracking how many steps he's walking. I was walking with Vel pretty much the entire day, so our step count is probably, like, exactly the same. And we got in, 27,690 steps today. I'm exhausted. I'm not gonna do any brain-heavy activities today. I am just gonna chill and yap. Maybe if we feel like getting a little philosophical, I'm down for that. But I don't imagine much deep wisdom is gonna come out of my brain today. Hiya, Turkey. Oh. You got the first digit right. You did. Yup, to the power of 10. Don't make me math, man. Don't make me math. Not today. Tonight? Today. At least for those of us in EST and CST. Because it's 1:26 in the morning. Actually, y'all want to see something cool? Hold on. I went through my entire OBS and my entire Warudo list of, like, items and assets and blueprints and stuff, right? And honestly, it's very difficult to sort things and make sure things are easy to find because I just have a lot. I have a lot of stuff. Pretty much, if you guys look at the redeems, that's not even the half of it, man. Some of those things are for, like, particular games that I'm playing right now, but unfortunately, Twitch only lets me keep 50 different redeems in the catalog. It doesn't let me, like, put any more than that, so I literally have a document. You know, I can show you guys. Hold on. Allow me to demonstrate. So, in terms of Warudo, let me show you. Allow me to demonstrate. The capture is somewhere down here. There we go. Okay. So, you can, it's a little small. I can't unfortunately zoom in on Warudo, but you guys can see, like, for Fox model, the one that's highlighted right now, that's my model. It's a fox. There's a fox emoji. And for tail, there's a ribbon. For Vel's model, I got a snowflake. For Darrell's model, because we do collabs, I got a cat. There's all these different emojis to help me find different things. Marbles, a circle. Picasso Post-its, a piece of paper. Cards are cards. Detective glasses, got a detective. Like, all of these visuals are really helpful for me. For anyone who has trouble finding things in their OBS, for any of my fellow streamers in chat, visual aids are very cool. And that doesn't just mean, like, oh, put an emoji next to it. You can also change the color of your sources in OBS. So don't forget that. And I know I'm not showing OBS right now, but this is the concept. I really wish that Warudo had color coding. Because I think, honestly, for the models, it would be easier for me to just tell via color than it would be for me to tell via, like, emoji. Because, like, Vel has multiple things. Or I might have multiple snowflake-like characters, and he doesn't really have, unfortunately, an emoji that properly represents his character. Not really. Because he's cryo, which is why the snowflake, right? But there's no weasel emoji. It's not really, you know, a whole lot of things for, like, he's got a bunch of motifs based on, like, Nordic runes and stuff. There's nothing like that. So it's a little bit harder for him to find something that represents him when it's, like, when it comes to, like, a character-like thing, like Fox. That works perfectly for me, especially because it's orange for, like, an Arctic Fox VTuber or person, you know, whoever has that mascot. It would be a lot harder because you'd have to have the orange, but it works. It works, so I'm not complaining. But, you know, emojis can only go so far. How do you add the emotes? I go to Google, I copy, I go into Warudo, I go to name it, and I paste. I should suggest the color coding on the features request. It's a good idea. I also wanted to I have to do a whole bunch of feature requests for Warudo. I've just been so focused on trying to get things ready for streams. Mako, actually, shout out to Mako, connected me with somebody absolutely incredible, and I have some work to do. But I have some amazing base models to work with, so I'm very excited to get started on those. But I really want to make at least one thing a surprise, so I'm gonna try and keep that under wraps, because that's pretty cool. I am going to be doing, just so y'all know how much hell I'm gonna go through, despite Mako trying to make my job easier here. I'm going to learn how to rig, I'm gonna try more animation, and I'm gonna go through the usual bugs and tech troubleshooting hurdles, and I'm gonna do something cool. I'm hoping I can do the creator who made them some justice, so I want to make sure that they know that they're appreciated, the efforts are appreciated. And then we'll play a game with it, a brand new game. Here lies Kishiko, died doing what she loved doing. 3D. Oh yes. I have actually been actively avoiding weight painting. I have been dreading weight painting for 2 years now, ever since I learned that it existed. It terrifies me. And it really shouldn't, because it's not really all that complicated, but it scares me. But, hey look, nice emojis! Wait, look at this! Look at this! Do you see the little nightmare folder? Look, this is what I was doing behind the scenes, right? Whenever I was trying to toggle something. So, anytime I want to enable the lighter, hold on, right? Anytime I want to enable the lighter, look, I have this cool thing up here. Whenever I enable the blueprint, which means toggling this little eye, which is very appropriate for Little Nightmares, but that aside. Whenever I toggle visibility or I enable the blueprint, what it's going to do is it's going to enable the lighter asset. And whenever I disable it, it's going to disable the asset as well as the flame to make sure that it's all gone. So, enable. Ta-da! And then every time I press the L button, and I'm going to do this without motion so you guys can see it's purely animation. That all happens. And so this is an animator trigger. So I made an animation in Blender that told the cap, I want you to go from that position to that position, right? And then I exported it. And I messed around in Unity to teach it how to read once it's in Warudo. And then now I can trigger it via this node. So I select the asset, which is the lighter, and then that's what I named the animation, so that's in there. And it's going to flip-flop between two different things. To turn the lighter on, it's going to... I use the off sound because it doesn't technically have an opening sound, so I play this sound, and then it's going to choose between one of these two lighting sounds, and then one of these two metal clicking sounds. It's going to wait, and then it's going to enable the flame. And then for the other side, what it's toggling the next time is it just does the off, so the click off, and then it disables the flame. So whenever you see, okay, so you're gonna watch. It's gonna go through A, because it's closed right now. So the next one's A, next is A, right? Ba-bam. Right? You hear actually 3 different sounds. One is the lighter click, one is the ignition of the flame, and then one is the click of the metal. I think. Yeah, this is the metal click of the little wheel that lets you light the light, and then this is the actual flame noise. Yeah. So that's how this works. Mostly. That's actually only half of it. You see the flame, how it's kind of like staying upright? That took a lot of work. Unfortunately, not my work. Gilly helped figure this out. I was trying to figure it out for the longest time. She and Valerie were helping me in the Warudo server trying to troubleshoot it, but just the way that Warudo has to work, this is the thing that makes the flame always face the camera. If you guys remember, actually, if I hide this, oh, well, okay. It kind of just, anyway. So essentially what it's doing is this flame here, this isn't 3D. This is a flat 2D image. If this weren't programmed to face the camera, if I tilted it on its side, it would go invisible. It doesn't have any depth to it. But what this is doing is it's going to get the main camera. And what that means is I actually have 3 different cameras. I have, you guys can see, my free camera, which I'm allowed to do anything in, and you can see if I lean forward, it kind of moves me back. That's because I am in orbit mode, if I could find it. Wherever it is. Oh, this is the wrong thing. Orbit mode, right? Orbit mode means I can very easily just orbit the character. If I go to a different camera, for instance, this one, this is the one that goes for just chatting actually. So this is the position for here, right? And I have it automatically set to like change my position per camera, but I'm gonna go back over here. If I were to try and move this camera, because this one is in free look, it acts a little differently. If I were to rotate the camera, watch this. It's a little weird, right? It's not exactly orbiting. It's like panning. So that's the difference. And when I lean forward, it actually looks like I lean forward instead of, you know, backing up. Oops. I'm trying to catch up with chat. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. It's the opposite of arson, man. There we go. Hi, Barbasso, also. Avoiding the existence of something, yes. Yes. At least the rigging should be simpler than a full model. Only ever, oh, so slightly. Oh! Tapachu! Hello! Do you bring grapes? Oh, you want the grapes? Oh no! Hold on, let me put my lighter away. I swear I'm not committing arson. And this is the effect, right? You guys know when I click this button, it toggles the visibility, right? But for immersion's sake, and this should be, yeah. Closed. Whoa. Fix that. Yeah. Yeah. For immersion's sake, I will just, ta-da, you know. But let me properly, oh, thank you for the shout out there. Whichever mod did that, I have a feeling it was you, Maku. Thank you, Maku. But Darvacha, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on, raiders. Welcome on in. How are you guys? And Strobellati, if that's how you say your name. Hi, welcome on in. And who else is here? Oh, Strobellati, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the High Tailor Circle. And thank you.
let me let that through. There we go. Got any grapes? I don't have grapes, unfortunately. You know what we do have though? Candy. Hold on. Let me show you the candy. Watch this. Let me actually go back over here so I'm not blocking the screen. Time to get distracted. That's what Yap streams are about, right? And if anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to see something, let me know. Because Yap streams are potential for anything, and I love questions. I love yapping about this stuff, so do not be shy, please ask. And if it's something silly, you know what? Propose it. If I can't do it or I don't want to do it, I'll at least entertain the thought. Let me show you the candy. We have candy. Hold on. So for, I think it was to celebrate 700 followers, we did a little thing called the Snack-a-thon. Now, for the Snack-a-thon, I made a grand total of, you can see it right here over here. I know it's a little small right now, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different blueprints in preparation for that stream. Bean, don't call me out. But for this one, it might take a second. I might freeze. Oh, okay, I'm okay. Why did I deserve that? I don't think I deserved that. Snack's so hungry now. Wait. Watch the process.
Water blast from Pokemon. Actually, you know what? That's what we were doing today, Vel and I. We were playing Pokemon. We caught over 300 Pokemon today, guys. So any candy. Candy. If I press Control A with this blueprint enabled,
ta-da! Ta-da! Look, I got candy canes on my sleeves.
Right? I had to position every single one of these candies individually. I exported them all from Blender. I didn't make the candy meshes myself. Somebody very kindly posted a free download on Sketchfab for anyone curious about any of the props I have. All of the credit is cited in the credits panel. So if you guys scroll down in the Twitch about, you should be able to find it. Anything and everything. If you see something missing, let me know. I am human, I make mistakes, but I do my best. The candy cane is, they're one of my favorite things. Wait, watch this. Ready? So I made a little note for myself. Whoops. Whoa. Let go. Okay. So we have 3 buttons. Control A, which is the one I just did, does the candy of the body. Alt A gives me wings.
Ta-da!
Go! So I have wings, candy cane wings. And actually, wait, if I make sure all this stuff works no matter what angle I'm at. Look, there's stuff in bag too. I worked really hard on this. So anyway,
I am Candy Fairy.
And there's one more thing. Hold up, let's look. One more thing. Shift A. It's not doing anything. I probably screwed something up. Hold on. That's Alt A. Why is this here? Ah! Shift A. It's not working. Anyway, boom! I just pressed the button. Anyway, yeah. So this is 95% of the fit. The other percent of the fit is here. If I enable this, right, and I do my depressed eye toggle, that's the wrong one. And then yeah. And then we have Goomi. Does anybody remember Goomi? Oh, I remember. Bop. Does anybody remember Goomi? Oh, I realized some of the model is still visible. Question mark? I don't know how. It was a little bit more immersive. I think I forgot, or there's new meshes, so I had to probably redo this. But not all of my meshes got hidden, unfortunately. Let me see which ones are missing. Are any of them missing? I'm kind of just in here. Oh wait, I am missing. For some reason the sleeves are still there, but it used to hide my entire model. But like, we can pretend, right? It worked. It totally worked. So anyway. And we're back! Hello. And look, even the candy eyes have the eye physics. So that's the Goomi model toggle. There are candy lunch redeems I had. There's sticky ones that added even more on my outfit. And there's holding Goomi. We can hold Goomi. Watch this. Boom. Did not work. Wait a second. No. Ah! What about this one? Oh, there we go. See? Ta-da! I can hold Goomi. Yeah. I need to fix these because these are super old. Because there's been a couple of model updates and such since then, but that's the gist. I'll do that, and it'll go away. And then for this, disable the eyes, candy toggles. I go back over here. I do Control A, Alt A, and it should be Shift A, but it's not working for some reason. I don't know why. See, it goes there. Is it false? I guess. I don't know. Anyway. Goomi beloved. Yes. Yes. Oh, hi, Private! You missed me. Where'd I go? I'm right here. You silly goose. Unless you... Now I'm gone. Who am I? Who am I without my ears? Where's Kish? Who are you talking about? You'll never get me. You'll never catch me. Gonna go eat and lurk. Oh yes, eat. Hydration check, chore check, sleep check, self-care check, all that good stuff. Make sure you go take care of yourself. Go, 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 go. Thank you again for the raid. I'll come back. Hold on. Ta-da! But candy toggles aside, let me just go and hide those again. Platypus? Do I look like a platypus to you? Honestly, the teal is about, I think, one of the only things I can think of. Maybe the orange. Perry's bill is orange, right? These are all the Lethal Company redeems. If anybody remembers from Thursday, we had the Lucky Duck toss, which you guys have been making great use of this stream. We have the throwing the loot bugs, yippee buddy. I even have the lethal flashlight, which I can show you. Oh, it's here already. It's kind of hard to hold, but let me actually do this and this, because this will be a lot easier to see. Ready? Whenever I press the F key,
My flashlight's not working. Something is messed up. Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. I know the Little Nightmares one works. Let's see what's happening. Oh, that worked. Next is A. Next is... Why isn't... It's not changing. Interesting. Anyway, ta-da! It does work. Just took a little bit. But you're seeing two things get toggled in and out. Oh, that's a strong light. Whee! So two things are getting toggled right now. This beam, this is a native Warudo asset. So this is just a volumetric light, and what I've taught it to do is there's a little anchor. It's invisible, but it's there. I told the program, I want you to move the light wherever the anchor rotates. I want you to rotate this light beam the same way. So you can see here, the beam is set to the anchor of the lethal flashlight, and they move together. And the second thing you're seeing, you see the front part of the flashlight here? You see how it's all bright? Yeah, that doesn't usually happen. If I remove this last part of the blueprint, watch, look at how immersion breaking this is. Look at, no, right? This one? Yeah. Look, there's two stages you have. On, off. This is emission. This is called emission. It makes things glow, right? So, okay, connect that back. And this goes here. Do it again. And now it looks so much better, right? And it's a little touch I thought was super important. So I like it. And that's, let me see if I can position it like scary story. It's not really working, but we tell scary stories around the campfire. that looked alright. But that's the lethal flashlight. I don't have a proper grip for it, so I kind of just pretend I'm grabbing it. But it's not very consistent. I gotta work on importing my own custom hand overrides. Waffle jump scare! Be gone, monster! You're scared of flashlights, right? For sure. All jump scares can be alleviated with the little flashlight. Little light. For sure. I say that like the flashlight helped me very much in the last stage of the Little Nightmares, the freaking residence. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, hi Waffle, welcome on in. But I can turn this off. This essentially allows me to hold a rubber duck. Alright. And by pressing D, and you see how it goes in like that? It looks like, you know, like how you have video games, whenever you interact with an object, it kind of like just goes in a little bit, you know? Whenever I press D for duck, it looks at, this is gonna play a sound, so if I disconnect this, that's just the Lethal Company duck sound. And what it does is, it transforms the scale. So if I were to just play this node, it would get smaller. See that? Bigger, smaller. Bigger, smaller. So essentially, looking at the concept of squish and stretch, it gets a little smaller, it gets a little bigger, and then it returns to its original size, producing that effect. So I think it looks really cool. Waffle, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Hightailer Circle. I hope you enjoy your stay. Waffle-shaped gluten is very scary. Is gluten scary? I don't know too much about gluten, so I don't know. But that's the duck blueprint. You guys, does anybody know where this blueprint was used? Does anybody remember? Does anybody know? Has anybody seen it? Did you guys see it? You saw Sir George Quackington's short, right? Let me go get the video so you can watch it. It's a little late now. It was a promotion for the Lethal Company stream. But let me go find it. Oh my goodness, hi Sloan! How are you? Thank you so much for the follow. Good to see you. How are you? Let me go. I'm gonna go find the video. Hold on. And just as a disclaimer, guys, I made this all by myself. I filmed it. I edited it. I did the entire thing. Lethal Company. Kishiko Bushido. Should pull it up. I accidentally pressed D. But you get to see the lupa, you get to see the flashlight, you get to see a bracken, you get to see the stop sign. There's a lot in this trailer that went into getting it together before the Lethal stream, and I'm just very proud of how it came out. I think my favorite part is probably the flashlight section. That was really hard to get right, and everything is in silhouette, partially because the model wasn't really done at the time, so I had to work with what I had, but I think it came out really cool anyway. Playing Fortnite with a girlfriend? Ooh. I know a lot of kids play Fortnite, but I've heard unironically that it's actually a really good game. I'm not much for shooters, but the amount of effort that goes into I've seen the 3D modeling and the animations of that game. Holy moly, it's insane. And like, I know it gets a bad rap because like I know like a lot of like super popular things like, you know, get hated on just because like, you know, like, eh, yeah, everybody likes Fortnite. Of course you like Fortnite. It's super popular. I feel like it happens with anime a lot too. Like mainstream stuff becomes like quote unquote cringe. But like honestly, if something's as popular as it is, there's usually a good reason behind it. So, you know, it's there for a reason. Guitar Hero mode? Wait, Guitar Hero mode on what? Man, child, we all have to, guys, we all have to maintain a little bit of the child in us. I feel like y'all heard me yap about this before. What is a world? What is the worth in a world that where you're not allowed to have a little whimsy, where you're not allowed to have fun, where you're not allowed to hold on to the little parts of your inner child that A, didn't get any light as a child, B, just maybe didn't get as much time as you would have liked, and maybe C, you just didn't have the capacity to explore them or enjoy them as you would as an adult with further understanding, right? So like, do not be ashamed of like appreciating things that younger people enjoy. Like, honestly, this made me feel so validated. There's a movie I want to see, right? I feel bad mentioning anything promotional because it's like, bro, I should be getting paid for this. But there's a movie called Elio. I've seen a couple of trailers about it, and I really want to see it. And I know it's a movie built for kids, but from what I'm seeing in the trailers, there are actually some more complex topics that are addressed in it. And seeing, I think it's Disney that made it. Seeing Disney try and tackle that after they absolutely flopped
with Lilo and Stitch in that regard. I would really like to see how they did that. It's Pixar? Oh, okay. Yeah, Pixar is so hit or miss. It's actually insane. I really want to see Elio. Just because, if you guys don't already know the premise, it's about a kid who's desperately trying to get abducted by aliens because he feels like he doesn't really belong. Nobody really understands him. Nobody really gets him. And he's like, maybe I'm just in the wrong place. And so he's like, aliens will understand me. Right? That's from what I got from the trailers anyway. So, and just the effects and the 3D modeling also just looked really nice. And it seemed human. It really seemed human, and I really appreciated that. And again, I know it's built for kids, but seeing all of that, I really want to see it. Yeah. It was really good, and your girlfriend loved it. Oh, bye-bye, Bread Vessel, take care! You just saw an Instagram post about it? Yeah. Yeah, it's a really nice idea, I think. And I remember this one part of the trailer stuck out to me. I'm trying to get abducted by aliens. Like, bro, I had to clarify. And Bean, you heard Elio was better than Lilo and Stitch? Cool. Let's go. Dun dun dun! Yeah. Dandadan was very good animation-wise. Story-wise, also pretty intriguing. For anyone interested in watching Dandadan, I would very heavily warn you, it is very sexually themed. There is profanity in Japanese. There's probably also an English dub. Is there an English dub for Dandadan? I don't usually pay attention to the existence of English dubs. I usually watch things in the original Japanese, so don't ask me. But you've been warned. But I think it won an award for the animation. If anything, you guys can watch the opening. The opening's relatively tame. And just appreciate the animation like that if you're not comfortable watching the series, but it's really cool. Let me see. Apparently an original story too? Yeah, Dandadan I think it's an original story, right? Unless you're talking about something else. Never saw the animated Disney movies as a kid, so you watched them when you were older. Honestly, yeah, a lot of the older Disney movies are really cool. Like, yes, they're to some degree, like, almost like sterilized versions of a lot of older folk tales, but I feel like they were a lot more daring in the past. You know what I mean? Meow, hi, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow. I hope you enjoy your stay. Welcome to the Hightailers Circle. Elio's original story. Yeah, that would make sense. The intro is... Don't know... Compared to the anime, yes. Yes, it is. Yes. The first episode... Yeah, usually a lot of series do this, actually. And I don't know why, but, usually they start off very strong with trying to appeal via, sex appeal, because usually that's what gets people's attention. Unfortunately, in this day and age, this is what I'm struggling with a lot, I feel like, is, being positive, being chill, doesn't really attract a whole lot of attention. It's comfortable, it's lovely, it should be the norm, or at least, like, more so usual, because it's nice to be calm and relaxed and not be, like, fearing for your life, caught up in, like, tangles of drama, or scandals, or nonsense, right? But whenever you're looking at media, given your fight or flight response and, like, you want to be aware of danger, you tend to pay a lot more attention to all the negativity. I think I've discussed this before. You guys know what I mean, right? If you're presented with media, one telling you about a fire that happened that killed 15 people because of a gas leak, right?
you probably pay attention a lot more to that than the silly little goofy community story about a dog that got rescued from a tree by a local citizen. Like, you don't usually think twice about positive news, but really, honestly, in general, I really hope that we can start paying a little bit more attention and giving a little bit more credit just to nice things when we see them happen. Acknowledge them. Like, let them know that they're appreciated. Because there's so much negativity in the world. And if you only focus on that, you're gonna drown. Right? So making sure that positivity is available, that it is known that it is appreciated, that it is welcome and not discarded. I think that's really important. But when it comes to marketing, you know what marketers want, right? Guys, what's the aim of a marketer? What's their job? What do they gotta do? And let me see. Witch Watch is cute, also gives off the super chill fun vibe. Yeah, the main character is kind of a ditz, but it's mostly sweet. I wish there was a little bit less focus on fan service, because she's a little obsessed with the main character. Or is she the main character? I actually can't tell who the main character is. Her love interest, she's very, very obsessed, so it's a little bit awkward to watch sometimes. But, the opening? Holy moly, the animation? Oh my goodness gracious. But, I really liked the one episode. All I'm gonna say is, for anyone who's interested in watching it, Paper. That was funny. The first few episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood were scarring. Oh, yeah. Content warning on Full Metal Alchemist. When I say, like, gore, when you mix, like, children and gore, because these kids are children, right? In Full Metal Alchemist we're talking about. It gets really heavy really fast. So, if you're intending to watch Full Metal Alchemist, it is an incredible anime. And it sat at the top of my anime list for years. Not 4 years, I don't know how many exactly, but for years. It is amazing. However, it is dark. There are some parts that are rather depressing because it's very heavy topics at times. But the storytelling, the character design, the music, like, every character is very deep. There is a lot of attention to detail, and I don't think I've ever seen an anime ending more satisfying than that one. I felt so full and satisfied at the end of it. Yeah. But, amputation, gore, there's, some profanity, honestly, really not that much fan service or sexual themes. I think I can think of, like, one, and that's it. Yeah, I can only think of one. Which is, for anime, pretty darn impressive. And, Thumbtack, to answer my earlier question about the goal of marketers, yes. It is absolutely to make as much money as possible. And so they're gonna use any means possible, and if it sells, it sells, and so, you know, negativity and drama is a good selling point. Sex is unfortunately another good selling point. And they're gonna capitalize as much as they can on it. And let me see, marketing. Let me teach you guys a little bit about marketing. I love talking about marketing, actually. I think it's important that everyone should be educated in marketing. You know, funny story. Let me tell you a funny story. My mother worked in graphic design for a long time. I think over a decade. I'm, again, not really good with numbers, so do excuse me. But whenever we tried to talk her into getting us some toy we just saw on TV, because, you know, marketers target children too, right? Depending on what product it is. So, as kids, we would see this product on TV and be like, wow, that's so cool! Of course we want that. And my mom, being, you know, knowledgeable in graphic design and marketing, would tell us to look for all of, like, the inconsistencies, and she would get us into the mindset of the marketer so we could defend ourselves against being tricked into buying all these toys. Because some of it really was about tricking us into buying things. There was, like, forgot what it was. Like a magic ball. And the ball looked like it was able to do all these super cool tricks. It almost looked like anti-gravity. And my mom was just like, it's literally just a ball. Those people know how to perform with the ball. And that's why it looks so cool. You're not going to look like that if you try to handle the ball. Imagine yourself trying to use it. Right? So, not only that, but, like, when we would look at... There was another... I'm thinking of another commercial I saw as a kid. You know those slippers? You know those slippers that, like, their ears or whatever thing on top kind of just, like, you know, flapped whenever you took a step? I forgot I was holding this. Let me put this away. But yeah, their ears would flap whenever you took a step. They had, like, a little air cushion that when the heel of your foot steps down on it, that it would pump the ears and that it would flap up, right? But the thing about it is that those kind of break really freaking fast. So if we kind of figured, like, oh, what's the catch here? If you make something that breaks really fast, in order to replace it, people have to buy another one. People have to buy another one. Profit! And so literally nothing in this day and age is made to last. And it really sucks, because that's why we have so much stupid waste. It's really bad for the environment. It's not good for the consumer. But because it's good in terms of profit, that's what we get. And unfortunately, it used to be that you made a good product, word would get round that this is an amazing product and more people would buy it, right? That's not the aim anymore. It's to make a product that literally nobody has a choice but to use this particular product if you want to be cool, if you want to be up to date, if you want to not miss out on something, right? And it's made to last 5 seconds and then it's gone. And if you want another one, you have to buy it. And that is, like, peak in terms of profit. You know? And because there's no alternative, because nothing's made any better, because there's no competition that can last more than 5 seconds, you're stuck buying the cruddy product. Yeah. And let me catch up with chat. Sorry, y'all. We're talking about Witch Watch. What am I watching? Honestly, the opening by YOASOBI, I liked that. That was my favorite thing. War stuff. What are you talking about? And who mentioned? Wait, what was the Fushigi? I think you're right. I think that was the name of the magic ball thing. Fushigi. I remember it being something strange. I wouldn't have known off the top of my head, but that sounds right. That sounds right. They had, like, a whole, like, camera, like, of, like, people in a park, and they're like, wow. You know? They were, like, messing with it and making it look really cool, but none of them were kids, you know? Like, this toy was clearly meant to appeal to kids. But it tricks them into thinking that it can be cool like this, but it would really take a lot of effort, and, like, yeah. Anyway. Ah! Hi, Oz! Printer cartridges. Oh god. Freaking printer cartridges. Prime example. Prime example. I want to take a sip of water here because I'm actually parched. Just give me a second. Also, hi, Dolphin Burb. Yeah, I'm losing it. I've been yapping today all day to Val because we finally got to go out together. Got to go out yesterday and today. He's back in the trenches trying to finish his stuff for tomorrow. But then we're gonna go out again. Yippee! And then hopefully we can play Grounded. I've been waiting to play Grounded. I'm very excited to play Grounded. Especially with the second one coming out. I don't want to say I want to complete the first game, because I'm just enjoying playing it. I don't want it to end. But at the same time, I want to be ready, you know? Except water. Yeah. Actually, you know what's funny about my cup? My cup kind of looks like a tankard, and I just fill the entire thing to the brim with water. I thought in having a clear cup, because it's entirely clear, right, that it would help. If you guys watch, I'm going to take a sip the way I would normally take a sip, not how I would take a sip if I'm streaming. Watch this. Watch my face. Just... It looks really freaking weird. Now, if I tried to do that with a mug, if I put my hands in front of my face, like actually in front of my face, my tracking goes out because I'm blocking my face. So it can't see my face, and it's like, whoops, don't know where she went. Bye. And, actually, you see how she falls asleep? Two things happen when I lose my face tracking. One, my eyes close. Two, my neck, the bone rotates down and to the side. So, I programmed that, actually. If you go to the Warudo blueprints, there are things for motion capture. This might freeze me for a sec, and let me show you. I'm back here. Face tracking. Oh, it didn't freeze me. Yippee! Okay. Essentially what I did is, okay. So, generate idle head animation. So, whenever there's no tracking detected, it goes over here. And essentially what I've told it to do is apply this blend shape, which is blink, which closes my eyes, and I make the weight, I don't know why. Hold on, let me test this. That's not it. I don't know, look weight. I don't know why that's like that. 0.91. But this is the head angle. If I go like this, it'll probably move if I up. Oh, it's not adjusting. That's odd. Huh. What was this number before? I think it was 4. I don't know why it's not working. I touched this a long time ago, so it's been a bit. Oh, rotation offset. Is this it? Hold up. Ready? Oh, awesome. Hi, Claudia. Welcome on in. This is Warudo. This is the program I use for VTubing. It's what's allowing my avatar to move right now. Things I do in this program affect how my character moves over here. And that, I think, is really cool, so I spend a lot of time yapping about it. So if I do, okay, remembering this, if I cover my face tracking, right, and I change the position offset to 50. Hey, look, it worked! I'm gonna get in front of, yeah, there we go. If I increase it more, you'll notice she looks down further. If I decrease it, you know, she looks up further this way. We're not gonna go that far, because that's kind of creepy. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Yeah. What did I have this at before? 15? Probably 15, right? Let me see if this looks right. I think that looks right. Cool. I think it's also funny. You guys see how my hands are here? My leap motion is like right on the desk below here. So like I'm holding my hands like right over my leap motion. If I reach to my phone to cover my phone, you guys can actually see me reaching my hand to cover my phone. That's a really cool tracking. Thank you! That's not even to mention my ears. Pendulum physics? Do I get to talk about pendulum physics? Do you guys want to see the pendulum physics? Yeah. Double pendulum? What do you mean double pendulum? I have more than two. Pendulum physics is what lets me do this. And this. I really need to get a new chair. That keeps like... Yeah, I don't like that. This chair is old. Physics now? Yes. Alright, let me show you guys. Let me show you the behind the scenes. Ready? So, in order to adjust the pendulum physics on your character, you go to the motion capture, you go to the receiver, right? And you go down to pendulum physics. So this is a list. I'm sorry, I can't make it any bigger, I think. Oh, I can! Yo, wait, that's new! That's new! Oh, I can zoom in. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm happy. Okay. Okay. So, these are all of the different things that make my character move the way that they move. If I disable the lean, my face moving closer to the camera doesn't really do anything anymore. Do the same movement. This is what I was doing. And no. So that's how that goes. Finger movements. So, okay, this I have to be over here for you to see. And you see this weird little... This thing here? This is actually tracking, let me see, head rotation. I think? Yeah, that's what it's tracking. It's tracking my up and down. So, wait, I lied. It's tracking, you see, I actually gotta move over, hold on. You guys can't see. It's tracking the X here, it's tracking the Y, and it's tracking the Z. So literally any rotation that my head is making, it's tracking. But it seems like the most prominent one is when I lean forward or backward. You see how far that's going over? It's pretty far. It's pretty far. Let me scooch over just a tad more. So essentially what this is doing, and I need to zoom out to show you guys properly, is it's controlling my fingers. So if you look when I lean forward, my fingers, they go out. You see that? How cool is that? And that's the finger movement, and that's also in tandem with the arm movement. So you're probably mostly seeing the arm movement. You see how the arm goes out? That's one thing, but it's also the fingers. Let me just better demonstrate the fingers. You see how they kind of bend back a little bit? Like, yay. There. 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 Yeah. So that's the pendulum physics on the fingers. I'll make myself small, get out of your face. Those are all actually default Warudo stuff. So I didn't make those. That's stuff that comes with Warudo, and you're like, yes, I want this on. Yes, I want this on. Yes, I want this on. And these other ones are specifically for my model, and I will demonstrate them after I just say, hello, Shapeshifter, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Hightailers Circle. So first, we have pupil dilation. See my eyes? My eyes, when I'm surprised, they go small like that, right? And you'll notice something else happened too, right? You see this dot up here that keeps moving back and forth? That's tracking how dilated my eyes are. And like it changes a little bit depending how wide open my eyes are. But what it's affecting is the rotation of my ears. And you'll notice when my eyes are dilated that they go up. And that is achieved purely by dilating my eyes.
So that's number 1. These 2 side mouth ones are exactly the same, just per ear. So whenever I... Watch. I'm gonna show you up close first so you don't get distracted. So this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing to achieve the effect. Ready? That's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. That's it. That's it. Ready? But the effect it has... You ready? You ready? See? It's really cool, right? And that's because it's tracking, okay, is the mouth really far over to the side, depending on how far over to the side it is? It gradually goes over. For a ear wiggle. Oh, yeah, you got me. But yeah, that's the side mouth. And the next thing after that is when my brows are down, when I want to be angry. Whenever my eyebrows go down, my ears come down as well. So, and that's just per ear again. And I realize I'm pointing, but I'm also in the way. That's that. And yeah, that's how my ears move. And I think just with me being me and moving around, you know, on top of just, if I don't make any facial expressions, they already wiggle, which is really cool. I don't know why there's so much lag, though. I barely have anything open, so I don't know why. Anyway. Paired with the magic of cloth physics and just doing stuff, I think it's really interesting to watch. And I'm very happy with how it came out. And I think I actually inspired a couple of different people, which is also really flattering. So it's exciting to know that other people thought it was so cool that they adapted it for their own model. So, yeah! I'm gonna go back on over here. Does anybody have any questions? Anything for me? It's okay to ask questions. Or even if you know that there's something I like to yap about, just like to give me the opportunity to go off about it, you can ask for the new people in chat because they don't know. Oh my goodness gracious. You guys want to see the blueprint for this guy? You want to see what makes this guy work? He's back. I wonder who put him there. Okay, so he's under the Lethal Company blueprints. And this is our Yippee Buddy. So this is the Yippee Buddy blueprint. I'm gonna close that so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so first thing that this does is it's registering. Okay, Twitch channel points have been redeemed. If channel points have been redeemed, flow here. And what this one does is it's like, okay, the title, see if here, the reward title has to be this particular thing. If it's misspelled, if it's missing the exclamation point, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm pretty sure I fixed the hoarding bug one. Yeah, I did not fix the hoarding bug one. Please don't use that one, actually. I'm going to disable that so nobody accidentally uses that. But because the name is different, the redeem doesn't work. Where is it? Yeah, okay. Alright, back to Yippee Buddy. After it's checked that this is the correct, or first, that, channel points were redeemed. Second, that it's the correct title. It's going to play the sound, which is Yippee! And then it's going to toggle this little guy. Enabled. It's gonna wait 499 seconds. Why 499? Well, I wanted it to be 500 seconds, which is 5 minutes. But I want to make sure that things don't go crazy and multiple ones don't get enabled at once and stuff. So on Twitch itself, I made it so that there's a cooldown between when you guys can enable it, and that's 5 minutes. I can't set seconds, unfortunately. So just to make sure that there's always a little bit of a difference between when this explodes and when you're able to redeem it again.
there is that 1 second little buffer between them. So, I don't know, I really need to work on this blueprint a little unoptimized. This flow at most once means this is only going to go in here once until it's redeemed again. And then by the time that it's done, it explodes. Tune confetti, slap sound, and it disables the Yippee buddy. Is it 8.3 minutes? And did I do my math wrong? I mean, it works, right? So I did something right. Let me double check. 500, wait. Oh, I don't want to do math right now. It's too late. I walked so much today. Vel got home, and he's like, I want to do dailies and crash. I'm still awake. So, I'm only like a 15-minute power nap different in terms of sleep. So I'm not doing the math. It works. I'm not gonna question it. Anyway. You have a question about 3D models. Hi, Blobby. Yes, please ask your question. But yeah, that's the Yippee buddy. That's how he works. So expect these 3 things to happen in 499 seconds. I'm just gonna do the math real quick via calculator. Calculator. Scientific calculator. 500 divided by 60 is... No, not 500 plus 60. 500... I don't have time for this, man. You gotta divide... Yeah, thank you. Divided by 60. Oh yeah, it's like 8.3. I don't know why I chose that number. Probably messed up during testing somehow, but... You have a model made for VR chat. What steps do you need to take to make it usable in Warudo? So, did you make the model yourself? If so, the setup... I actually asked somebody about this when trying to figure out how to export a model for Warudo. They said essentially, follow the VR chat documentation, but instead, use the Warudo SDK for export. It's essentially just applying the Warudo mod for your character, as far as I know. The setup should be nearly identical. Yeah. I would say ask your friend to download the Warudo SDK and just export it the same way they would for a VR chat model, just with the Warudo SDK. That should work. Yeah, it's a plugin. Yeah. But from what I understand, it should be pretty easy just to do the same thing. I will say, just if you're trying to make it for Warudo, just have a quick look through the Warudo documentation. Oh wow! Look, somebody even made a plugin for that. I would say don't use any built-in shader pipelines. So like use Mtune or Poyomi or Liltune or Nilutune. If you're using Nilutune, you have to have Warudo Pro for that to work though. So I would say that's an expensive shader anyway. I don't know if you're probably not using that. But Mtune for basics. It's what my first version of this model used for shader wise. Now I use Poyomi. And if I become big VTuber, honestly, Nilutune shaders are so... The colors that you can get with that are so yummy looking. Like, oh my gosh, like, think like gummy candy. Like, that's what it looks like. It's so nice. So, if I have one day enough money to buy a license for Warudo Pro and Nilutune shaders, I will consider it. But for now, I think Poyomi looks pretty darn cool. So, we're here. And no problem, that was cool to answer. Thank you for asking me. I'm very happy to yap about it. I don't know all that much about VR chat, except that you gotta be careful about using your model there because people can rip it. And people can use it for nefarious things if they so desire, because if, you know, they get their hands on it, they do what they want. So, just be careful about that. I would say, like, for VR chat, it might be nice to have a different one than your official one if you're just worried about it. But I would say that's probably more of a concern for, like, bigger VTubers, like, who have, like, these super complicated models that's not easy to replicate, you know what I mean?
Like, can you use the shaders that were used in Unity in Warudo? It depends on what shaders. So I think there's a conflict. Warudo doesn't like no, it's not URP. You just read the documentation. I'll tell you which one not to choose. I'll take a look at it right now just to see. But they'll tell you which ones are not okay. Character. Modding. Creating a character mod. Hey! There's documentation for it. Yep. Prepare the model. Set up the character. Scaling third-party components. Everything from VRM to animation rigging to dynamic bones, VR, fizz bones, Magic of Cloth 1 and 2. Woo. What about shaders? Shaders are just essentially what allows your character to be lit. It was made in Unity first and then optimized for VR chat, so you think... I don't think you need to worry about it, honestly. I would just make sure that the shaders that you're using, and shaders, as long as the model is relatively simple, should not be too bad to switch over to whatever one's compatible. But just make sure it works. Because if you just pop it into Warudo without thinking, and it turns out like, oh, this is a built-in Unity shader that Warudo does not like, you know, your model's gonna turn pink or something. If your model ever turns up pink in a program, it usually means there's missing textures or missing shaders. Pink, the bright neon pink is a sign that something is wrong. Yeah. I'm not seeing anything on shaders though, so I'm gonna have to see. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can share my screen. It's not showing up. Hold on. Properties. Character mod. Boom. Please show up. Oh, it's because this is in front of it. Okay. Ta-da! So, I'm looking at the documentation right now. You can just look up the Warudo handbook, and I didn't see anything about shaders. All I know is that just don't use the default Unity shader, and you should be okay. But there's like nothing in here about shaders, which is a little, yeah. Let me see if there's anything about shaders anywhere. Let me just look it up. Ready? Shaders. Custom shaders. Here we go! You can use any shader that is compatible with Unity's built-in rendering pipeline, like Liltoon and Payomi. And then Warudo Pro also supports URP, and therefore also URP compatible shaders. Which tab? Just look in the search bar. Just look up shader. Custom shaders. Ah, yeah. Custom C# scripts. Yeah, Sirkin and I have been talking about trying to develop some of the blueprints that we make for streams via C#. There are a couple of ones that we wanted to redo, a couple of ones that we wanted to optimize, and Circuit knows C# better, so the fact that there's compatibility for this is really cool. I just don't know how to use it. My jam is this. I like this. This is my thing. I like the spaghetti. This is my, yeah. I like this. It's visual. I can see it. It makes sense. Usually. Mostly. The spaghetti looks scary? It's not. It's not. You know what? Wait. If the spaghetti looks scary, take a look at this. The Warudo documentation is freaking amazing. Let me do a quick tutorial. And it's kind of silly of me to do a tutorial because
you don't even really need the tutorial if you look at, if I could find the, where is it? Where's my Chrome screen? Oh, it's minimized, that's why. Okay, so Warudo has a bunch of tutorials right here that go over a whole bunch of different things. So he has like a video example you can see when you want to toggle different clothing options. Like for me, this is how I toggle my ears on and off. It's the same concept. Alright? And this is how you toggle mesh, and it goes over how to toggle the mesh. There's literally, like, look, you see, it says on keystroke pressed, so you add that blueprint. Node. It's called a node. The whole thing is called a blueprint, and the little boxes are nodes, right? And on keystroke pressed, so whenever they press J, and you select the character, which is character, and the mesh is the jacket, action is toggle. Whenever you press J, it's going to send a flow here, and it's going to toggle it, which just means it's going to flip-flop between being on or off. Easy peasy, and it's done! For me, I have Alt-E, and there we have it. So that's how you do it. And you can even copy and paste, so you don't even need to worry about, like, trying to find the nodes all over again. You just change whatever one you want. So, like, this one does the jacket, and for this one, it does his headphones, you know? And yeah, light mode Warudo is the scary part. Yeah, that's the scary thing. The spaghetti, not scary. Light mode, yes, scary. And, granted, not everything is as straightforward as this. It does get complicated, it is coding, but you don't have to dive in head first. I never thought I would be able to code anything, but here I am making stuff like, look at this, look at this, look at this, watch this, watch this. I'm trying to think of the most proud blueprint I have. More of the recent ones have been, I've had a lot of help. I guess probably the lethal duck, just doing a little, here, ready? Toggle it after I make it enabled. I toggle it so it's on, right? See, on, toggle, so on, off, right? Whenever I press D, it does the whole 0.9% scale, 1.05% scale, and then back to its regular scale by pressing D. And of course, at the beginning, you just play the sound. So, like, again, this is very simple, but the effect it has, I think, is really nice. Ah! And, you know all those? You know all those? Hold on, wait. Let me detoggle this. All those Twitch redeems? Ah! They're in this folder! This is how you set up throw redeems. So, you wanna dent the fox? That's how you dent the fox. It, drops a marble from the top, up there. It drops it on my head. The scale changes. I don't know why it's like that. Well, that's what it looks like. Oh, I see. The X gets wider, the height gets shorter, and the Z gets wider. So it effectively pancakes. Ah! I'm okay. And then it returns to normal size after 1 second. I think I should extend that a little bit. I'll think about it. But every redeem that you guys whenever you throw something at me, whenever you use channel points and it affects something on my character, whatever it is, it's because I had to make a blueprint that sets it up. Throw a marble, throw a marble. Water blast, water blast. It's launch liquid. I could even change the color, but I like this blue, so I keep the blue. The launching redeem. The launching redeem is actually a little bit awkward because if I
don't disable my tail, it does this weird thing where it like glitches and then settles. So I have to disable the tail. So it's like, it's a little bit more complicated than just saying, activate the ragdoll, go! You know? But everything has a blueprint. And it's really satisfying just seeing how many of them there are. Like, I made so many of these. So many of these. The ragdoll physics go! But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And whenever does anybody remember my birthday trailers? I also filmed those in Warudo. The two for the 2023 one and the 2024 one. Those are both filmed in Warudo. So I was even messing with like camera transitions and just a whole bunch of stuff, lighting and everything. I'm trying to make it more interesting every year, but I'm really not sure what to do for this year. I feel like I've gone all out multiple times. So I'm struggling to think up something, but I wanna think outside the box. I wanna do something that nobody's done before, and it's like cool if I can figure it out, you know? But yeah, going back over to the blueprints, I don't really think. Yeah, honestly, you just follow the tutorial. It's so straightforward. If you're trying to make something, just start off by doing the tutorials and then work your way up to something that you really want to do. And like, granted, tutorials don't cover everything, but they give you some pretty good foundations. Think outside the box. Yep, I gotta go beyond. Yeah. Actually, it is rather late, but I'm really happy I got to stream just a little bit and check in with you guys. But there's one more thing I want to talk to you guys about before I go. And I'm gonna pull it up on the side so I can talk about it a little bit with the definition in front of me. Because it was something cool I found. I was scrolling while I was waiting for Vel to do something, and I came across a really cool concept. It's called the Tetris effect. Does anybody know what that is? Does anybody know? You know that game? You guys know Tetris at least, right? The post I read, and actually let me see if I can find it. I'd like to find it. I will find it, so I can read it to you guys so you can have the same exact impression that I did. No. That's not it. Why is it taking so long to load? Maybe it's this one? No. Where is it? Did I not remember to save it? Did. Alright, so anyway. The thing was about somebody was playing a video game, and they were on the crunch for like a full week of just, this is what they were doing. They were really having fun with it, and it was awesome. And the thing about the game, I think it was Assassin's Creed, and I don't know much about Assassin's Creed, but they were climbing and jumping across anything and everything. And it was really cool. And it was really jarring for them to go back into work the start of the week and attempt to vault a counter to get to their desk. They didn't even think about it. But they took 2 really dedicated steps, and they were gonna do it, and they're like, wait. No, this isn't, no, wait. You know? So, the Tetris effect And this is a new term that was included in the post, but since I can't pull up the exact post, I'm just giving you my best account of it. The Tetris effect occurs when somebody dedicates vast amounts of time, effort, and concentration on an activity, which thereby alters their thoughts, dreams, and other experiences not directly linked to said activity. The term originates from the popular video game Tetris. People who have played Tetris for a prolonged amount of time can find themselves thinking about ways different shapes in the real world fit together, such as the boxes on a supermarket shelf or the buildings on a street. They may see colored images of pieces falling into place on an invisible layout at the edges of their visual fields or when they close their eyes. They may see such colored, moving images when they are falling asleep. And for some, this creative urge to visually fit shapes together by organizing and building shapes can be extremely addictive. I just thought this concept was incredibly relatable, intriguing, and also maybe even a little scary. One time I was on vacation, and I just pointed out to one of my siblings, I just finished playing through a bunch of Breath of the Wild, right? And I see just in a pile of rocks, very oddly sticking out a yellow flower. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's a Korok! Or if anybody knows, like, the Legend of Zelda games, or just games in general, I think I've seen similar stuff with Genshin. When a pile of rocks just kind of, like, seems a little bit out of place, in a video game, like, interactable items kind of look a little bit different than your typical background items. So when in real life you kind of just see something that sticks out a little bit more, whether that's a place in a wall that was patched up differently, whether that is a pile of rocks that looks a little bit weird, you know, your brain immediately thinks like, oh, I could totally put a bomb in front of that to explode it and open the way. Or, oh, I could totally break that pile of rocks. That's an interactable, you know? Like, it changes the way you think about things. And this can be helpful sometimes, because, you know, when you're playing the game and you can recognize these patterns, you'll probably do a little bit better at the game. But if you're applying it somewhere it ought not to be applied, it can be very interesting, and if you don't catch yourself, kind of detrimental really fast. So, yeah, you gotta check behind every waterfall, exactly. You're in the ceramics shop? Bet there are probably rupees in those pots, am I right? So, like, I don't know why, but Zelda just seems to be a very applicable concept, applicable game in particular for this concept, right? Not the ceramics shop, oh my gosh. Yes, the ceramics shop. If you've ever played a VR FPS shooter, you might get used to sticking your hand out and gripping to pick things up. I can see that. I feel like in general, VR probably promotes that kind of experience more so than just regular games. Because with VR, you are immersed. It is literally your field of vision. So that makes sense. But anyway, Tetris effect. Now you know the name of it. I learned that today and I thought I should share that with all of you. So there you go. Fun fact of the night. And I think that's all for Yap tonight. Does anybody have any final questions, final things they want to talk about before I head out to bed? I have a lot of communications and work to get to tomorrow, so I should probably catch up on my Z's, you know? VR scares you for that reason? That's understandable. Today's lucky on 10,000. 10,000? What are you talking about? Oh, so I saw Jarrell. Hi, Jarrell. You come in earlier. What did you say earlier? I know you say. Oh, okay. You arrived with the little emojis. I missed a text. I know I missed a text somewhere. Stream talk. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate the explanation. But yeah, that will be all for tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully, we'll be live with Val, who will, again, hopefully, be free of most of his concerns in terms of, applications and crunch, academic crunch. So, hopefully we'll be playing Grounded on Sunday. I have a couple ideas for watch party, so if you guys wanted to do that, I'll be around the Hightailor Circle Discord for anyone who's not already in the Discord and you wanted to check it out. For those of you who don't already know, sorry for my regulars who already know what's coming. If you're sick of notifications being delayed from Twitch, I know that Twitch doesn't have the most reliable notifications. We do have a notification channel that you can opt out of or into, depending on your preference, in the Discord. We have discussion channels, as Thumbtack very graciously brought up. Stream talk for things that happen on stream, and that's for context, explanations, but also polls and discussion, and sometimes even sneak peeks. We have fan art channels, tech talk, creative discussions, a whole bunch of stuff going on. So if you're at all interested in just engaging with the community, knowing what's going on here, that it all happens there. Otherwise though, I'll see you guys, hopefully with Vel, this coming Tuesday at 10 o'clock EST, 9 o'clock CST, 8 o'clock MST, or 7 o'clock PST. I almost forgot my order. Again, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not really a math guy. So it's it's all on memory for me. But I hope you guys had fun. Please never, especially not on these streams, be afraid to ask me questions about 3D, about graphic design, about marketing. I love talking about this stuff and getting questions from you guys, knowing it's relevant to somebody and I'm not just, talking about whatever. I hope you guys enjoy it nonetheless, but I love getting to help you guys out if possible, so don't be shy. I think that's almost about it. We reached a goal for Ko-Fi, so I'll be commissioning those next set of emotes. Again, that is all together now. Salute, think, pensive, rolling on the floor laughing, and artist's choice. And then animated, we have question and thumbs up. And now with the new benchmark reached, nodders, nopers, and notes. So I hope you guys are looking forward to those. Two of them. Roughly 7 of those are already in the works, so hopefully they'll be done soon. And I will, of course, put them up for you guys to use as soon as possible. So look forward to it. That, and I have not yet gotten back to testing for Vibe and Stretch Sense stuff. But again, whenever I get that together, you guys will be getting a full comprehensive overview of how to use those, what goes into setup, exact hardware requirements, because I know a lot of this stuff is rather experimental. It's very up in the air. It's part of the reason it's taking me so long to figure out. But I hope to come up with something that will make you guys' lives easier for those of you interested in exploring that technology. That, and it will be a partial hand reveal stream. As a reward for covering the cost of purchasing said technology. So thank you guys again. You're awesome. I love talking about all of this stuff. So you just being here talking about it with me makes my day. I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you as always. I'm gonna go before I get any more sappy, but stay awesome. Purvey the positive chaos. I'll see you guys next time. Tuesday! Yippee! Okay. Bye-bye!